Warriors Unite! Back with another episode of Bigger Warriors 2 in the 1% Club. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are conquesting. Hope you guys are continuing to battle things around you, have domain of things around you, be that high-value male under God and your Creator's purposes. Great to see you guys again. I hope you guys are doing well. And let's do some shout-outs before we get our topic. Let me see where I'm at, my list here. All right, so soccer legend, thank you, my friend. Mark Macian, thank you. Love Beats, Too Blunt Chuck, thank you. Jon the Dawn as usual. James Langford as usual, thank you. GLRYB2GD, thank you. French 3, 111, 3 French 111. Talking about aspartame, yes, I know that's one of my weaknesses. Too much Diet Coke, too much Diet Pepsi. I got to watch out for that. I'm getting better, but not where I'm at to be. So you got a good point there, my Frenchie. I appreciate that. TKO twice, thank you, my friend. Optical, man, thank you. Warpath businesses, stay away from negative people. How right you are, my friend, warrior. You are white. Stay away from those negative people. They're going to bring you down. I had many years of that, and I can tell you by personal experiences that you want to stay with people who are thinking like you, positive, successful, and you'll see a lot big difference. Michael and Angel Escalante, thank you, my friend. Aquanquate, thank you. Alex Masters and Micio Cruz, 2 from Micio. Thank you so much. All right, so at 1 minute and 30, maybe 45 seconds, here's our this was recent, so I wanted to see this because I wanted to kind of go back to some of the topic we talked about a little bit. And this is the whole idea of attraction and how females look at you and how you react to them. And this is what's important to look at. And yexx 2130 had a good email he sent to me talking about the fact that if you release, you become very emotional and fearful. And that's so because of that, then you are unattractive to females, and biologically, then they will go ahead and find somebody else. And that's very true. So let's talk about that a little bit here and kind of focus on this a little bit. So most of us, because we have a sense and we want to be around young ladies and women, which women have a tremendous upside. There are lots of great things about women. There's no doubt about that. But you have to be in control of yourself. And you have to kind of lead people around you. You have to be the leader. And this is something mentally you have to take the approach to. Now, the reason why that's the case is that women are very much emotional creatures. And that's good. There's nothing wrong with that. We need emotions. We need to have nurturing. We need to have those positive types of emotions. But remember, there's a lot of fear that goes along with that. And so many women are very fearful and have high anxiety. They're very self-conscious, how they look. I know I brought up a couple daughters myself. I saw that as they were teenagers growing up. There's a lot of fear, a lot of social comparison, a lot of comparisons to media figures and things that they can't even come close to. So a lot of women have problems with self-concepts, and if they have poor father figures or not good relations with their fathers, it's even worse. Then they have no idea of how to really handle or work with men or be able to deal with men. And so women struggle on a lot of these fronts when they talk about their anxiety and their fears and their self-concept. And so, and it doesn't really help a lot when they're portrayed in the media that their looks is really the only thing that matters. And so they put themselves together using makeup and all this other kind of stuff to make themselves look good. But it's an illusion. It's an illusion. And the person, the real behind that, obviously you can't feel good with that if that's what you're looking at and you're looking good because of the illusion. This is why it's important to find women who have something more to offer than just the looks. Because looks is something that's not going to hold that relationship forever. And when the bottom line comes in, do they have enough to offer to you to be able to help you achieve your goals? Now, in the result of this, if you do end up releasing, and you're releasing a lot, and those things, we've talked about that over and over again, what you end up doing is becoming a lot more weaker. And because you become a lot more weaker, things are going to affect you more. They're going to affect you from a anxiety standpoint. They're going to affect you from an emotional standpoint. And so now you have a lot of emotions. And because of that then, because women already have that, and a lot of times women can't really stop that, because even though they can build up, retention as well, they can do retention as well, there's certain parts of the month where they lose a lot of that through their periods, different things that they have, and so they're not going to have as much of that as you have, as the males do. And so from a male standpoint, you need to be the one that's going to be strong. And this is why a lot of women, because of the fear, because of the anxiety, they need to feel secure. Now, they're not going to totally feel secure because they have that inside of them, but they will feel enough secure to know that someone is there to help them and do things for them. And obviously it has to be give and take. You have to be the person to understand that, am I giving more, or am I getting back as much as I give? Those are all questions you're going to have in those relationships. But the bottom line really is that women are going to have that need. They have the need for you to protect, and some will have the need to provide. Now, nowadays, a lot of women, they're getting their own provisions and may not need as much to provide, but they still need that security. And whether it's a physical security, in some cases, it may be emotional security. This is why it's important, as you look at things, to focus and really realize that you're the person who has that power. You're the warrior who has that power to be able to be strong and stoic in the face of all problems going on. I remember the other day when I had the accident, I'm sitting there and I just tried to stay stoic. It was just a natural reaction, because I've been working with this for a long time. And so I try not to get things upset. One of my biggest issues was, kind of blown off the handle, flying off the handle. I don't do that half as much anymore. In fact, not very often at all. Once in a while, it still happens. But the thing is, I always find myself, whenever I'm in a state of breaking monk mode and thinking about things, that's when I tend to have more of a problem with anger again. And so it's a direct correlation, my friends, I believe. This is my opinion. I don't have any scientific research, but I'll give you my opinion. My opinion is that anger that you have comes from not the actual release sometimes. I mean, in my case, not the release, but it's really the thought of it, and all of a sudden start feeling those feelings again, and it's frustration maybe, and all of a sudden now you're angry and you're blowing up, or you're getting upset. Now, of course, it's not like it used to be. It's not even near close to that. Once in a while, I still find myself getting a little irritated at stuff and getting upset like I was the other day. But the thing is that a lot of it was because, once again, you're in a different mode. And if you got temptation, all of a sudden you start thinking about things. And once again, we talked about this, that the birds can fly over your head, and they're going to fly over your head. Temptation is always going to be there. But do not let those birds go into your nest and nest in your head, because then you're going to start getting those ideas and temptations, and eventually things like edging and these things are not far behind. So you've got to try and nip it in the bud as soon as you can. That's obviously the battle that I'm facing. You guys are facing different battles. We're all facing different battles, right? But in my case, my two issues really are the monk mode, not thinking about it at all, which I tend to do at times. And so I keep fighting this one. And then also the second thing is obviously the anger management, which is 10 times better and getting better as well. So the thing is that you have to control yourself. It's a continual battle to learn that, and looking at trying to focus on really trying to look at how you can control yourself and not lose your emotions, lose your energy, because another form of emotional release or energy release is your emotions. And you don't want to lose your emotions along with the physical. So though you may not be releasing, you may still be involved with toxic people that are going to kind of make you or have you lose your energy. You don't want to do that. So you have to also keep the emotional energy. I call those zombie people and energy suckers in a different way. Those are emotional suckers who come after you, and they want to draw on you. They want to draw on you for security, help, and so you've got to be careful. Nothing wrong with giving aid to people, helping people. I do it all the time. But you cannot get caught into it when now you're losing energy because of that. And so as we talk about this issue, I think it's a really good one, that as a male, as a high-value male, you have to continue to be stoic. which means you're not losing energy for any reason at all, unless for one, and that's procreation. If you want to have children, that I think that, in my opinion at least, God has put you here to do that. That's a different type of story. Regardless of that, other than that, I believe that you're in a state where you have to try to keep as much as your energy you can as long as you can. Hopefully, I'm going to be able to continue to work on my issues here and talking about trying to stay in monk mode as long as I can. And also then obviously that helps my anger type of issue as well, to be able to kind of work through that. Now, I had played football in college and high school, and so a lot of you guys who played sports, you know that, especially football, you know there's a very violent game. And so you learn, just like if you were in the army or somewhere else, you learn violence. And so that's something hard, that my first notion is to be violent. And so that's why I have to kind of be careful to control myself. And that's my biggest challenge in all of this. But I do see a direct correlation back in the old days, especially when I was having trouble with releasing energy, of releasing and then becoming frustrated and angry. You may get loss of energy for a while, but then you also get frustrated and angry as well. So a lot of those things come to play. But I think the main thing you have to think about, guys, is that you will become emotional and you will become weaker once you're releasing energy. So obviously the key is to try to keep your energy as long as you can. We're not just talking about the physical now, we're talking about emotionally. So find yourself good people to work around, to have people that are going to bring you up, have good, what they call good vibes, not bad vibes, and you're going to be able to be more successful in the long run. All right, my friends, well, good topic, and thank you, yexx2130. I like that idea of when you're releasing, you're losing your energy and getting more emotional and fearful, and I like that thought. All right, so guys, until next time, hope you guys have a great day. Remember two things always. One, every day is a new day to a great warrior, and you guys are all great warriors out there. And the second thing is we've got to continue to work on fighting this temptation, battling our issues, whether it's issues that I have, issues you guys have out there. Continue to be strong, be stoic, and become a high-value male. So we have to continue to battle on!